We hear a lot today that it is almost a privilege for people to invest in Canada, that we're doing people, the sentiment that we're doing people a favor, and that somehow we can sit atop a perch and just decide that we're going to allow this person or this investor and not this investor, that somehow it's all in our hands, and that we're Boy Scouts in Canada. We allow everyone to come in and walk all over us because we're weak and we don't really stand up to people. I think that is a false narrative. From the very beginning until today, we allow foreign investment in this country because it's purely in our self-interest. This is what we have. The way we live, we have 35 million people in this country. If you're going to continue with our standard of living and our way of life, it's mathematics. 35 million people cannot sustain this kind of wealth and lifestyle in a world of 7 billion people and more if they only trade and deal amongst themselves.
The first things when you're dealing with a Chinese client or an Indian client or whoever are what are the merits of the transaction? Why is this transaction better than another? So when you're looking at Canada, rule of law, great place to invest, safe, secure, stable, all of those things. Then you move on to the next part. What is the asset? Examine the asset, examine the merits of the asset. If it fits with what they want to do, what are the financial terms around this transaction? And again, if that fits with what they want to do. The next thing they'll ask is, what are the issues related to Native Indians? What are the issues related to government, unions, labor laws? Because a lot of transactions have got to the point where they've proceeded and then they sometimes fall apart because of issues related to any of those things. The last step is, are we going to get stopped by the government of Canada? And probably 2 years ago, you wouldn't have heard something to that effect. And I remember December 7th, we thought it was early Christmas when the deal got approved. And I was in New York, and I got an email from one of our guys saying Nexen got approved, and we thought it was the greatest day ever. And we called all our Canadian clients, all our Chinese clients. We said, it's a free-for-all. And then we sort of found out that it wasn't. And it took months and months and months and months to figure out exactly what was going to get approved and what wasn't.
I've been working in banking industry for over 15 years before I joined PwC recently. And I think the Canadian environment still tend to be a bit conservative and traditional, and it has the complacency of relying on the large U.S. market. But I think this scenario is changing rapidly. So I encouraged, I think a lot of you here are either students, young talents, or practitioners in the market. Pay attention to this e-commerce space. It has implications for what we do here and the Canada-China opportunities.
Not only do you have Industry Canada looking at foreign investments, not only do you have the Department of Foreign Affairs looking at foreign investments, and now you have Canada's security establishment looking at foreign investments. So, what are the lessons learned, I think, from the scene of Nexen 1 year later, or 1 year on? Well, we live in a very complicated world where, under this government, national security, national economic interests, and foreign policy agendas will trump the straight-up economic market case for foreign investment, which means greater uncertainty in the foreign investment review process going forward, I think. I'm not judging it. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just kind of, I think that's where they've decided to go.